Hello Internet, Grumpy Man here. It's been a couple weeks, I think. So it's my commute home from the office. Nice Thursday, humid. So just get ready here. Try not to leave with my helmet not attached like I did this morning. So I've been sick, and the antibiotics that will be done today were really hard on my stomach, and whatever, I wasn't leaving the house much. So yeah, what's going on? So my channel is doing well. I'm up to almost 6,000 views, which is for 20-something videos. I don't even have 20-something videos, do I? Which is pretty good. I'm up to about, subscribers. I think I have like 27 subscribers, which is, for the amount of marketing that I do, it's pretty good. Oh, oh yeah, they got Model X's for some of the cabs here. Cool. Those doors, though, I gotta see how those things work when it's freezing rain or something. Good Montreal weather, winter weather. Yeah, so I changed my video editing software to Windows based. I was running a Hackintosh with iMovie, and usability, beautiful. How long it takes to upload videos is just redunculous. And even I found Final Cut Pro was as slow. So maybe it was because I was not on a real Mac, it was a Hackintosh, but it was a pretty beefy hardware. I mean, 7700K with 16 gigs of RAM. The latest PCI Express NVMe SSD. That's pretty beefy. I mean, faster than any iMac. iMac's the fastest you can get. Well, till the new one, that Pro comes out, is a 4790K, which is a decent CPU. Come on, turn. Yes, you turn. Yeah, and it was taking, so my typical 15-20 minute video was taking like 3 hours if you just clicked on like share to YouTube. And the upload, I have 30 megabit upload, like 200 down, 30 up. And it's not that, because, you know, it's only whatever gigs it was. So I got Movavi, some Windows one. I googled iMovie Windows equivalent, and there was a few that come up, and I just was like the first one alphabetically or something, and there was a trial version. It put a watermark in it, so I said, okay, I'll take one of my videos, and boom. And it was so much faster. I think it was 25 minutes to convert and upload like a 50-minute video or something. Ridiculous. So much faster. And it seemed to use all the cores. Like, I don't know. So I bought it. It was like $39 or something Canadian. I'm like, oh, I'll support you. And that's like, I don't know, I'll get a few updates. Worked very well. So usually I don't take this way because of what's happening in front. You can see all the people cutting. They're going to get around that truck because that truck goes a little bit slower up the on-ramp. So I made a mistake. It's habit more than anything. I took this way. So you see 1, 2, 3, how many cars are going to cut in front? Some at least signal. Well, at least she looked. I don't know. I'm trying to be a more patient person, and maybe these people don't drive downtown every day. There's a surprising amount. You're a fucking taxi, you can fuck off. Sorry, language. I hate taxis. They're the worst. Yeah. Asshole! Sorry for the language again. Cutting it at the last second. He knows exactly where he was going. On my car, I just kind of turn up the music and whatever. On a bike, I don't know. That was blatant. He was in, so anyway, I think I've explained this before. He was in the far left lane to get around all the slower cars. I'm like a good citizen, not that I am, but so I'm in the right lane to go, because the right lane is the lane that goes and comes up here. But no one has any patience, so anyway, I'm not in the mood, really. So yeah, software. So far it works really well. And then my son, I said, you know, my intro, I need something a little bit better. So we went online, and he's like, oh look, you can get these little intros for free. If you pay, you can get something better. But I said, oh, the one I have is just like the default, like the one with the mountain there, default one for iMovie. And I'm like, oh, there, give me something a little bit flashier. So I got the new one, which is a little bit better. And that's good. And maybe he'll learn how to do it like from scratch, you know? That'd be awesome. Get around all this slow traffic. So construction holiday is over. And there's a big difference. So I'll see how long it actually takes me to, I didn't take note of what time we left, but this morning, just leaving Il Perot was quite a bit more cars than normal. Well, than the last while. So I guess, yeah, it's construction holiday, and it's obviously not everyone works in construction. So, like during construction holiday, I don't know if I actually recorded it because I was without audio for a while. But this was like non-existent. So this is kind of a little bit back to normal, which is fine. I'm actually getting used to taking the train more. So I fixed up my computer. I had some other just some other little things. So I got rid of the Hackintosh drive, which for my son was great news, because now he has he had a small cheap SSD and then a couple Velociraptors that I striped together. I have a bunch of, for some reason I bought them, some 600 gig those 10,000 RPM spinning drives, and anyway, that was like his D drive, his application drive in his PC, and so now he's got a 500 gig SSD for his games, so he's happy. But he does a lot. Well, he puts the effort to help me out. I mean, I could do it, but he likes doing it. Yeah, that's a good thing to know. It is the YouTube age, or the end of the YouTube age, depending how you look at it. And he's 12, so knowing how to edit videos and get them up and it's really not rocket science. I mean, you could just film something on your iPhone and go, and it's on YouTube, you know. Well, they even make iMovie for the iPad, probably on the iPhone too. So yeah, this is normal traffic, and you see it's only 2:30. Yeah. It could be that there's lanes closed up ahead. Last summer they had up ahead where it's the split to like 15 and the 20. So to carry Route 20 west, or the 15, I guess it's north, to get to the Champlain Bridge from here. They narrowed it even more. So I think last year this was closed too. St. Jacques was closed, so it was particularly bad. This went to like 2 lanes or something, 4 to 2. But last year I went down there. So St. Jacques wasn't closed, so you can zip by it down here. You go up by the new hospital, that hospital, so you come up here, around, and you get out St. Jacques, or first around the First Avenue exit, LaSalle. But that's a little bit slow, but might be faster than this. At least you're moving. But then it's they put a 30 zone in, I forget what that part of town is called. Anyway, you're gonna get traffic. Actually, what I should have done, and I was gonna look at checking the lakeshore. See, look at this guy. Taxi, again. Yeah, and I don't even take taxis either for that reason. I drive like maniacs. Okay, he wasn't going 1,000 miles an hour, but see, there's another taxi. So you know where you're going, but no, you're gonna try and get across. There's another one. Look, that's 3. He's gonna cut across 3 lanes of traffic too. He knows exactly where he's going. He's going to the 20 or he's going to the Champlain. So he should be in this lane or in the lane beside me. No. Let's cut across. Oh, 27 and a half. It was 15 when I left this morning. But it's not raining, so I'm happy, because if it starts to rain, I gotta find a place to pull over and take my GoPro off. Yeah, there's a bit of wind. It's okay. I mean, later in the day, this is gridlock here too, so really, just... My wife even told me, she said, it was 30 minutes door to door. So from parking to parking, basically, it was 30 minutes during construction holiday. For the first week anyway. The second week I was sick, so I didn't drive much. So going back to looking at my so as far as views on my channel, it seems that when I review a bike, when I go to these test rides, that seems to get the most traffic. So now that I know that, and I know that a ton of rides are earlier in the year, obviously, because with the short riding season, they want it in April, starting in March, April, mainly April. So many people, they think they just signal, and that's it. Signal and you can just move. You don't have to like yield. Well, yeah, you're the one turning. You need to yield. Anyway, so I know that's the most popular, particularly, let's see, the V-Strom, even though there was no audio, there was no clever commentary by yours truly, has the most views. And then the Goldwing, man, people are liking the Goldwing. A few snarky comments, one of which was really snarky for no reason, like, I don't know, there's a lot of angry people, man. I comment on YouTube, but I don't negative comment. I've disagreed, and I think I've put some comments, like, yeah, you made some good points, but I don't really agree if I take the bother. Most of the time I'm telling people good job and really like your video, because there's some guys, man, they put out some car reviews, like one guy, Savage Geese, the production quality, and he's like a no-nonsense guy, he cracks some jokes, whatever, and it's just like a good car review. Yeah, but one guy, he was, because I said in my review that it didn't have a gear shift indicator and stuff. So maybe I didn't like voice my opinion. What I meant to say is that they're charging a lot of money, Honda, for Goldwing series, and they're really outdated on technology. Like, there's no ABS. I don't even know if there's ABS on that bike. And I even said, like, I couldn't find the cruise control. It was like right in front of me. It was right on my thumb the whole time, the cruise control button. It's on this side, the throttle side. And I even think I said at the end of the video, oh, I'm an idiot. But that comment, that was fine. But the other guy was like, oh, I guess he was one of those Luddites that doesn't like any technology on their bike. Oh, I rode for 50 years without ABS. If you need ABS to drive your bike, you're an idiot. Blah, 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 blah. I don't need a gear shift indicator. I know which gear I'm in. So it doesn't matter what you need. I mean, it comes down to personal preference when you buy a bike. But if you're comparing models, so if I was comparing this bike to its similar bikes, my BMW, I'd say, well, this one has electronic suspension, it has ABS, traction control, it has cruise control, it has heated grips, has a gear shift indicator, it has a multifunction dash. No, it's not a TFT full color, it's LCD. But still, I can get a lot of information, and with the GPS combined, I can get a crazy amount of information. So if I was comparing it to other bikes in my pro and cons, if I was really organized and I had a little checklist, I'd say, okay, I'm looking at bike X compared to this bike. It doesn't have this, this, and this, but it has this, this, and this. And then you have to say, okay, well, the things it's missing, do I need that? So, do I need electronic suspension? No, if it was fully adjustable suspension, I think I'd be fine. This, however, in 2015 didn't have fully adjusted. If you didn't get the electronic suspension, well, first of all, I would have waited 4 months to get a bike. They don't import them by default. Anyway, people have nothing better to do than be cranky old men. I mean, I am grumpy man, but just so much negativity. I mean, someone did I've clicked on plenty of guys, and they're like, I've clicked on some Harley Davidson reviews, and they're like, there's a couple. One is a dealer in I think it's probably Florida, Matt Laidlaw, and like, he doesn't do the best reviews, but he does give good coverage of all the new Harley Davidsons, because it's a dealer, it's a motorcycle dealer. It's like Laidlaw Harley Davidson or something. So that was good. But then I clicked on some other reviews of like the new street rod 750, and it's just like they're totally drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's like, oh, it's perfect bike, it does everything, man. Harley Davidson is like, and I'm like, I'm not going to comment and say, oh, you're just a fanboy. I mean, plenty of people did. It has like 1,000 comments or something. I don't subscribe to that channel. But if you just put out something that's relatively unbiased, and I understand people are fanboys. I'm a fanboy of this bike. If anyone tried to diss this bike, would I get riled up? A little bit. But if they did it in a good way, because for them, it wasn't a good bike. Oh, nice S4. So yeah, so now that I know that people like bike reviews, I mean, I kind of knew that. And these videos I'm going to try and put a bunch together and just edit them so they're a little bit shorter, so easier to digest. Whatever. Without resorting to clickbait, you know, your channel is gonna grow at a certain pace. You know, I'm not doing local news. I'm not doing like political views. I'm doing like, this is a niche thing. Like, motorcycles is a very niche thing. I might expand and do, you know, an off season, do like, you know, some gaming stuff, because that's my other thing I do, is mainly World of Warships. I mean, there's tons of guys, but if all it means is recording some replays and putting that out, whatever. But I don't really want to separate my channel too much, so I can make like I don't know if you can do a sub channel or something. I'll figure it out, because that might be good, and I can put like bloopers, because I'm like a fairly average player of that game. You can look at your stats online. I think I'm 51 or 52%, so I'm decidedly average. Well, I think the highest people, the best are maybe in the 60s, maybe. But I mean, you have a streak. Like, I can have a streak when I was sick, and I do 20 games, and well, you get like 2 wins. And yeah, some of those obviously I screwed up. Sometimes just like potato teams. Yeah, I'm hot. And the antibiotics I'm on make me really thirsty. They say, well, it says take with plenty of water. And I did drink water before I left the office, but I'm always reaching back to check if my backpack is still strapped to my bike, but I have a cargo net strapped so tight. The only way it could come off is like actually someone cut it, or one of the little threads actually stopped. So obviously I haven't gone on my nice big road trip, and I probably won't. I missed some work for this, being sick, and I don't want to miss too much. I have some stuff I'm saving up for, and I don't have paid sick days, so yeah, so I might do a smaller trip, at least. instead of going for like 4 days, I might do like I don't know, leave early a Saturday morning and come back Sunday night or something. There's plenty of there's some trips, some shorter trips I can do up here in Quebec. Some beautiful roads. So, and anyway, if I wait a little bit, it's going to be cooler too, so it's just a bit easier gear-wise. I won't have to pack as much. So yeah, I hope this is recording and stuff. I meant to record this morning, and then somehow I forgot to charge one of my batteries, and that was the battery in the camera, and I was like, screw it. I just put my Senna on with some music, and I'm like, okay, I won't film on the way to work. There was a lot of traffic anyway. It was a bit longer this morning. So I have no idea what time I actually left just now. Oh well. Yeah, this is definitely this is pretty much normal traffic for before 3 o'clock. I think I mentioned in one of my videos that I'll be starting to work later too, slightly later shift. So that means dealing with this or taking the train. So the train is fine for what it costs. Probably costs the same as paying for parking for the day, and of course you're not paying your gas. So I just load up my iPad and put some shows on there. So Netflix, offline Netflix is awesome. Throw a few shows, got my decent set of headphones, and just zone out on the train for. I mean, it's just 50 minutes. It's really not, you know, just under an hour. It's not that bad. So I am going to be due for my service soon. The light came on. It comes on about a month before. So it's, I don't know what the date is today. It's August 8th or 9th, I think. I'm due on September 1st. Yeah, that's going to be an expensive one too, because I believe the valve adjustments is at forget how many kilometers it's at. It's supposed to be at. It says I have 2,700 kilometers remaining, so it's almost 20,000 kilometers the next service. So oil change for the main engine. I think they do the drive shaft because it only takes 200 mils of oil or something, so they're like, you know, we might as well just do it. It just doesn't really add to the labor or anything. It's not that long to do. And they check everything. I don't know spark plugs. I think it's in the manual. I have to check what they do. And so, before anyone says anything, yes, I could do all that, but I don't have the computer, so I can't. And no one that I know has the tool to plug into the CAN bus to turn off the service indicator, to reset the service stuff, and if there's updates, I don't have access to those either. Is there updates? I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe there's a website that you can put in your you could put in your VIN and it will tell you if there's any updates, but I haven't found one as of yet. So, but I am certainly capable of doing an oil change in the final drive and spark plugs, air filter too, although I have no idea. I think you have to take off a lot of body work to get to the air filter, because the air intakes are here and here, and yeah, so it's under this, it's under the gas tank, so you have to take all these covers off. It's on YouTube, I'm sure. Yeah, this is slow. People are should speed up after this exit. Oh, these cones is a bad. Oh yeah, look at this. Whee! This isn't so bad. Sometimes they grate and the lines are deeper, the grooves parallel, and it really makes you really have to hold on to the bike. A car too, you can feel it kind of tug. Whee! So I'll have to bring her in for that. But this is the most mileage I've done on any vehicle, really. So I'm past 16,000. So what am I at? 16,269. And this is my second season. I got it on Labor Day 2015, so that's September. So I only drove it. I did enough to get got the first maintenance done, so the 800 kilometer or 1,000 kilometer maintenance done. But I mean, some of it, I'm not saying it's all twisties. It's just like it's commuting, but I do like this bike. I was having a discussion with someone some people on a forum saying how test rides or these dealer days are dangerous, and I would go, yeah, they're pretty. Like, if you don't have a bike, or you're not completely in love with your bike, then yeah, they could be dangerous, especially if you have, some disposable income. I mean, I've tested 9 bikes, almost, and I've liked all of them, almost all of them, but then I get back on this, and I'm like, no, that bike was okay, but it wasn't this, which I'm happy, I'm very lucky that I found something that I love the riding position, I don't know, not many changes I would need. I mean, there's no wind protection, but I bought a naked bike, so. But there's plenty of places that rent now, so if ever I was going to change the bike, I would rent something. Like if I was going to go more sport touring with more of a fairing, or I should say more wind protection, or a lot of people do adventure bikes for that too. I would certainly test drive one, or go to a demo day. They're having the same. BMW is actually having the same deal now that I got, which was you buy now and you don't pay for 6 months. So we're August. If I were to go to buy a new bike now, my first payment would be April, which is how they got me to get this one, because I was basically not going to have a bike that year, and then I saw that deal and it was like, well, I guess I really liked the bike when I drove it. See, once you get to the West Island, it's okay. Past the 13 there, that's usually it thins out about here, and then it can slow down a bit. When you reach the end of Montreal there, St. Anne's, just because it goes to a 70 zone through Hillsborough, and there's traffic lights. It's not bad. It's supposed to rain later tonight, I think. My family's all off at a beach today. That truck is signaling. Is he actually going to turn? White car didn't seem to hit the guy's side signal, I guess. What I need to get is one of those. They have these special undergarments. I ride bicycle. I was wearing bicycle shorts under my, just wearing bicycle shorts. seemed to be more comfy. And then a bunch of guys said, no, you gotta get this dry fit. I forget the name of the company. And there's no seams and stuff, and it's like, looks like spandex, but it's a special breathable material. And there's these guys that do like crazy amount of miles in the States, and they're like, no, you get a pair of those or a couple pairs of those. That's the stuff. I said they wick away the moisture, and you're very comfy. Because that's the only part of me that gets sore, is my bottom. And not crazy sore. I mean, my neck, if I had a big ride day, like I was on the bike like 7-8 hours, sure, from holding the helmet up with no wind protection, you kind of have, it's a strain on your neck. My neck and shoulders are a little bit sore, but nothing major. And I bet if I raised the seat a bit, I'd even be more comfortable. I think this is the medium seat. I think I could almost get away with the tall seat, or the sport seat, which is a bit taller and it's narrower. But you have to measure that when you buy the bike. They'll put one of 3 seats. They won't put the sport seat, but they'll put one of the 3, the low, medium, or high. And I just kind of bought it, and it was like, yeah, it's okay. But my knees are a little bit bent, so it's either that, and I can flat foot. So I think if I went up maybe half an inch in the seat, I'd still have the balls of my feet on the ground. I'd still be comfortable. Oh, gas light, hello. Yeah, so I figured out that the gas light comes on when you have a quarter tank. It's not how many miles left. Because miles left, I have 82. But I know on a quarter tank I can do quite a bit. So there's a few ergonomic things that I can mess with, but obviously it's not bad enough that I'm like rushing through it, because all the stuff is expensive. Well, the seat, well, it's BMW OEM, so I'm sure it's expensive. But I saw Sargent makes a seat now. They have even a backrest for the driver, which is like this big cantilever kind of thing pushing into your back. It's kind of very weird looking. But the seat itself has some colored piping on it, like they do for the other rides. It's pretty cool. I'd have to get specs, but it doesn't really bother me that much. So you just like maximize it. When I only notice it when I'm wearing my heavier set of gear, that my knees, it gets bunched up. The pants get bunched up behind my knees a little bit more. I'm just wearing jeans today, so it's not as bad. I mean, they sell big windscreens too, but I just find them ugly. They make one that's taller, and then you have that little vari vent on the top, the little fin on the top that you can deflect air. I guess it would make it quieter. I just find it ugly. This is the sport one, so it's the shortest windscreen you can get. They have a little deflector that comes with the bike that's black, but that just comes up, that just covers the back of the gauge buster. And you basically have full blast of air. Now the blast of air is pretty much at my windscreen. It's like right about here. There's a truck there, so it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's about there. If I take it off, it's right at my chest, which is good for the breeze when it's warmer out. But you also get all the bug splatter, which yeah, it says the idiot bought the jacket with white on it. Like, oh, it's definitely gloomy out. It's very humid. It's okay. I'm almost home. I'm waterproof right now, so if I get wet, I get wet. My phone is waterproof, and my backpack is waterproof. I don't really care. It's really only going to work that if you got caught in a downpour, you'd be like, oh crap, and I didn't have my gear on. You'd be like, be wet all day. And it was clear skies over my place, but going east, there was like some really dark clouds, and you could see like the rain, but it was off. So I was lucky. I should ride in the rain, and I've been tempted a couple of times, like when it's raining, to go, just to put all my gear on and go out for a ride. Just I've ridden the bike in the wet, but not in a complete, like, normal, when it's been raining a while, steady rain. Yeah, it's probably a good thing to do that, just so you know how to bike handles. So I'm pretty confident in the way it handles in the wet roads that I've been on. Just like you get a new car and you have to deal with snow, like here, you should go to a parking, when if you get the first snowfall, go to a big shopping center parking lot or something and just do a few hard stops to see, like, you know, how the car reacts. Take a turn in the parking lot, hit the brakes, accelerate, just to see how your car reacts. It's a good idea. I'm gonna do that with my daughter, so since she's driven in the snow a little bit, but since she was learning, if it was like a snowstorm, obviously she would be driving, but now she has her own car and it's going to be going off to school, you know, driving at least, well, driving to the train station or driving a little bit further to the Rev'It, so that she has a bit more flexibility in getting home. So I'll take her to a nice parking lot. I get her snow tires on her little Swift. Oh, my dad did that with me, of course. He had snow tires, but I grew up in the era of big ass cars with no electronics and big 8 cylinders, big heavy 8 cylinders that made no power. You know, cars were like 1978, 1979, so they had like, I think my dad did put snow tires, and he had I don't know if he had a limit, he calls it Posi traction or something. That was a GM name. I don't know if that was just a limited slip differential. But they were 5-liter V8s, and they made you didn't see me. She's okay. I didn't give the big, I just gave a little toot toot because she didn't really see me, but I was kind of in her blind spot, so it was kind of my fault too. So yeah, and we drove around, and it's funny how everyone, I'm on car, I read about vehicles, you know, cars and motorcycles, and people saying, oh, rear-wheel drive, you can't drive them in the snow and this and that, and I'm like, oh, you kids. You know, you say, oh, you can't drive a Mustang in the snow, and yeah, okay, a Hellcat in the snow? No. Okay, yeah, you possibly can, but is it going to be fun? No, you're going to be like, your foot's going to be sore from feathering the throttle ever so gently, even in the valet mode, the reduced power mode. But I mean, we drove these cars, they had skinny, first of all, they didn't make power. They were like 140 horsepower, 150 horsepower from a 5-liter V8. Just to compare it to a current Mustang GT has a 5-liter, and it makes 435. So yeah, and we didn't have electronics. We had skinny, I think the tires were like 205 75 14. Mind you, that's good, they're skinny tires, but skinny is better than wide, because you get down to you dig down into the snow better. And now cars, yes, we have wider tires. Most cars have 60 series or 50 series or even lower profile, so you have a wide contact patch. But I mean, with all the electronics, okay, will a Mustang be harder to drive than a comparable car with all-wheel drive? So say you take an Audi with their fantastic all-wheel drive. Will it be harder to get around? I would say taking off from a light, yeah, it's going to be easier, but not impossible. Will it be a pain in the ass? Maybe. Even my Focus ST has good snow tires, and are they 50 series? Yeah, because the stock are 18s, they're 235, 40, I think they're 50 series. But it has a lot of torque, even with no, I'm not talking about the turbo, because if you're gentle on the throttle, you know, it's not you know, it's not, the turbo's not there. The turbo gauge is at 0. The boost gauge is at 0. And I still found it was, you know, off the line. Stopping was fine. I have good Dunlop winter something or another that came with it. But compared to, I had a Dodge Journey. Compared to that, the Dodge Journey had Blizzak, so like, I think the Blizzaks are like still like in the top 4 or 5 rated snow tires. Those ones, those are LM V1s or something. But I mean, the Journey was, and the Journey has a, you know, not the greatest all-wheel drive system. Let's put it that way. It was front-wheel drive and would divert a little bit of power to the back wheels if there was slippage. But I could pretty much mash the throttle. Like going up this hill where I'm on right now, I've seen a few guys in rear-wheel drive cars, like, mind you, maybe their tire, I can't see their tires, it was snowing, so I can't see what type of snow tires they had or if they had a lot of tread. Snow tires are mandatory in Quebec, so from December 15th to March 15th, you have to have snow tires. And because of that, I can't ride my motorcycle between those dates either because there's no snow tires. But that hill, I can mash, my Dodge Journey, I can mash the throttle and just go up. And the Focus is not so bad. It's not as good, not so bad. My wife's Charger is all-wheel drive, but it's rear-wheel drive. It's all-wheel drive, but there's supposed to be a light that comes on when it's diverting power to the front, a little green light. We played around in the parking lot, never saw the light come on, so I'm not entirely sure. Hey, Goldwing. But that actually, have I driven it in a big snow? Yeah, it's not so bad. But that's I don't know, that's a really nice, like, from performance standpoint, the Charger V6 is not exactly, you know, it's 300 horsepower still. It's more than the cars I grew up in. Like I said, it's a 6-cylinder. But the weight balance is pretty much, with the all-wheel drive, it's like, it's not 50-50, but it's not the extreme that a front-wheel drive car is. So it's actually quite well balanced, and it's a huge car too. Anyway. Hey, Harley. Oh, no, it was I think that was a boulevard. I'm not gonna get gas now. I don't feel like getting gas now. And I won't be going out on the bike for quite a few days, so. Tomorrow's gonna be thunder showers all day, and then maybe if I'm lucky Sunday, go for a ride. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So 15:04. So it's been that. I think we're about a 40-minute commute today. That's normal. So. Yeah, it's dank out. I would like to ride somewhere where it's just dry heat and see the difference. We get it here sometimes, but and yes, I always pass cars here because I don't. If the road's open like this, then I'd rather not have a car in front of me. I just like to see the road like this. If there was traffic, like more cars, then I would just like back off and like, okay, whatever, people are driving slow. But and my bike is dirty too. The bugs. Lots of bugs here, particularly in the morning. when I leave to go on my rides on the weekend, and I leave not even that early. There's lots of bugs, and when I leave to go to work, and I leave at 5:30. It's like. It's nice to be able to living in the country a little bit. Not as country as I would like, but country enough. You know, there's fresh air, water right there. I don't know. I couldn't live downtown or in a big city. Now I just need to move further into country where I don't have any neighbors. I have a really annoying neighbor that just long story, but very annoying. And I just want to be in a place where I have a few acres. Well, my plan is more than a few acres, maybe 20 acres, and I really don't have neighbors. So I can, at night, I just want to hear whatever noise I'm making and not the neighbors, basically. Or just hear the crickets. But all in all, this is a nice, I mean, we're close to downtown. Like I said, it's a 50 minutes on the train. It's about 15 minutes to get to the train. Depends, like it's all these little streets, so that's why it's a bit slow. And then, but you have the country. I mean, I got 2 apple orchards right here, one of which is open year-round and sells like local fruit and veg and even some meat products like sausages and stuff. So basically, for a lot of people, this would be country. I mean, I know people that have driven out here and they're like, I don't know how you live out here, it's so far. I'm like, it's not that bad. It just feels so good. It's been 2 weeks almost not being on the bike. And this morning when I sat on her and it just went, even a bit of traffic this morning, I was like, oh man, it's heaven. Just what the doctor, I feel better. It's crazy. I feel better. I felt like absolute ass for the last, I've had 10 days of antibiotics. I was a day in the hospital. This felt like absolute ass. And this is what prescription I needed. Home sweet home, Old Yellow. Well, thank you for watching. Take it easy. And I'll catch you next time.